out of that Lincoln Air Force Base. And that vehicle had an attitude problem where it tipped over almost horizontal when he ejected. And basically he hit the ground after about 3 swings in the parachute, very close to the LLTV. Well, Neil, that was in his mind, and every pilot, the first thing he's going to do when he sees he's got a problem, fly the airplane. Neil was glued to what was happening in the guidance system of the spacecraft when he first heard that. And at the time that he heard that call, he should have been looking out the window and take a look where he's landing, but he didn't. He continued to fly that aircraft all the way down. He's supposed to do it about 17,000 feet. And he's down about 2,000 feet now where he first looks out and sees his landing site. And this is just the beginning. He had talked that they're really counting down seconds of fuel remaining, because at that point, Neil entered into what is called the dead man zone in the trajectory, where in order to abort, he's going to have to land first and then abort thereafter, because firing the whole staging, the engine is insufficient to move the lunar spacecraft back to orbit. So Neil finally gets down there, and it's like many of you probably, or maybe have driven a car in a snowstorm where the wind's behind you. So now Neil is blowing the dust off the lunar surface, and basically the surface is moving, so he has to pick up a solid device, a major rock, a boulder, big enough, so he can use as his reference. And Buzz is now telling him his motions of lateral, and down velocity, etc. So it's really interesting to really read the transcript from what Neil was thinking and doing from the time he first heard that computer program alarm reading. But it was, I asked what I felt. I was just almost paralyzed, holding on. There's a handle on the TVs there. Holding on as they're counting down the seconds of fuel remaining. And boy, it was only when we heard the Houston Tranquility Base I could let go of the handle of that guy. But I think everybody had their experience. And then I had to get together because we had to go through the stay no say. We could not dally for 1 second. And the team didn't. I mean, they went through this, they went through their assessment. And at 2 minutes, they're safe to remain for another 6 minutes. And we do that over and over and over. And then some of us have to go to a press conference. Everybody's still pressing, and now they want to hear. All we want to do is get back and find out when they're going to get outside the spacecraft and start the EVA.
Gene, can you just remind us how many seconds of fuel were left when the Eagle landed? How many seconds of fuel remained?
To our best guess, it was around 17 seconds. By the guy that was calling seconds of fuel remaining was Bob Carlton. Well, he joined the Air Force. He left high school in the sophomore year, joined the Air Force, got the GED, got his high school diploma off, then went to college. So he is the guy that is calling down the seconds of fuel remaining. We call him the Gray Fox. And basically that fit his name almost perfectly there. But he was rock solid calling those seconds out. And you hear the Capcom pass that out. And I think everybody in the control room was totally silent there, only listened to Carlton, Capcom, and those seconds being passed up to the group. We thought it was 17 seconds, but we did not have a slosh model. It turned out there was more like around 30 seconds.
Tom, were you going to add a comment?